1.72 vanilla test world. I want to talk to you about MineCart sorting. This actually came up because I'm watching some videos by a guy by the name of AWDF Toxic, and he had made mention in some of his earlier videos about MineCart sorting and the kind of ins and outs of it. And so I wanted to show you real quickly a few basic ideas for minecart sorting. The three we're going to cover today right here are going to be the empty minecart, the chest minecart, and the entity minecart. It might be villager, mob, or even a person. There's actually two different elements here that we're going to be doing that deal with this. First things first, talk about the difference between having somebody in the cart versus having a chest or empty cart. And that's a very simple one. Many people know about this. It's just a simple tripwire that's 2 blocks high across the rails, and as you can see here, when I go across it, it triggers the redstone here, which changes the rail. So anybody who rides through here will get bypassed down this first line right here. It's pretty straightforward. A lot of variations on that, I'm sure, but this is probably the easiest solution I've seen. Works really well. So that's the entity filter. Now the second one's going to be the difference between a empty minecart versus a chest minecart, and we're actually going to be using inertia to discern the difference here. And the reason for that is empty minecarts have a very short inertia. They only go about 8 blocks or 8 tracks before they peter out, whereas things like players or chest minecarts can go much further. So we're going to use that inertia to our advantage. So in this particular case, we've got a little system set up, and all this takes is a little bit of patience to get a powered source and a hill at just the right distance from each other. In this case, I've got 3 tracks before a hill, and this is a 3 high hill. Now this is just enough that an empty minecart cannot make it all the way up, so it's going to come back down and route around this bypass track over here. So we'll go ahead and show you that real quick. So that's our empty minecart. So it's going to come on out. Whoops. Get it on its way. And as it comes around the corner here, you'll see it comes up, peters out, comes back down, hits the bypass, and there you go. Now again, the difference between that and a chest cart, even in the empty chest cart, is that it has a lot more inertia, so it's going to have a lot more capacity to move. So when it takes off, it's actually going to make it up all the way up the hill without any issues at all. So there you go. Hey. Alright, so that's pretty much it for that. It's pretty straightforward. I've noticed when it comes to systems like this, it doesn't take very much resources at all. They're pretty simple to set up. There's a lot of variations you can have between this type of system here versus the hill system. Specifically for Tox, look at the way he's got things laid out. Here's kind of a variation or idea of it. So you've got, again, same concept here. You've got 3 different types of chests versus empty versus entity. So you got the hill. So the hill will filter out those empty minecarts and they'll bypass down this bottom track. Now for the chest versus entity, as you come up here, I've done a little bit of a trick here using 2 lines on the hill. And what this does is when a chest cart comes up, it's only going to trigger the bottom line here. It's not going to touch the top one. And as you can see, it bypasses the line here. Now, if you were an entity or a mob, you'd actually trigger both lines. And as you can see, this turns off. This doesn't trigger, so people will actually come right through into your rail yard or subway line, or however you want to put it. So, yeah, so there you go, Tox. If you want a little variation, have some ability to sort out your different minecarts, that's the way to do it. Probably one of the simplest ways to do it, honestly. Like I said, there's a lot of variation to it, and it really is a very low cost. There's very little iron or any other resources really involved. And redstone-wise, the only redstone I really have for this type of variation is just a couple pieces right there. So very low cost indeed. That's